Hello dear friends, in this lesson we are going to understand the registration process for MSMEs. MSME means micro, small, medium enterprises. Dear friends, before we will understand the registration process for MSMEs, we must also know the relevance and the importance of this sector in India. Dear friends, as per data provided by different government agencies, this sector contributes nearly 45% of India's total industrial employment. It also contributes 50% of India's total exports and 95% of all industrial units of the country. More important to know is that there are more than 6,000 types of products that are being manufactured in these industries, and these industries are also known as small scale industries or SSIs. Dear friends, uh, now we look into the benefits of MSME registration. Dear students, as we know, in order to promote entrepreneurship culture in this country, the government of India provides special benefits to the small businesses in the form of subsidies, incentives. Also, uh, yeah, banks also offer loans at concessional rates to set up these businesses. Dear friends, for availing those, the small businesses need to register under Micro Small Medium Enterprises Act. So we need to know that if a business is registered under MSMEs Act, it can avail benefits in the form of cheaper bank loans, tax benefits. Yes, preferences may be given during the tender processes, and there is an access to various schemes and incentives by different government agencies. Next important thing we'll understand is the registration process. Dear friends, we need to know that Aadhaar number is now compulsory for registering under MSME Act. An application has to be filed online using Udyog Aadhaar registration, and this can be verified using e-Aadhaar OTP. Dear friends, Udyog Aadhaar is a 12-digit unique identification number provided by Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises. It is also known as Aadhaar of Business, and you can register at udyogaadhaar.gov.in to get that Udyog Aadhaar. Dear students, also we must understand that provisional registration is given in the initial 5 years if an entity hasn't started its business yet. During this period, it can obtain loans from banks and apply for various NOCs from regulatory bodies. Once the entity commences its operations, it can apply for a permanent license which has a lifetime validity unless cancelled. Yes. Now, another important thing to note is what are the kind of the documents required to get MSME registered. Dear friends, the entity has to submit business address proof, copies of purchase and sale bill and licenses from regulatory bodies. Dear friends, now we will discuss them one by one. Business address proof. Here, two important conditions are there: if the premise is self-owned and if the premise is rented one. So, if the premise is self-owned, in this case, allotment letter, possession letter, lease deed, property tax receipt. If there is a municipal license in the business name or in the name of proprietor, partner, or director of the business, no other possession document is required to be submitted. Yes, if the premise is a rented one, rent receipt and a no objection certificate from the landlord is required. Also, any utility bill like power bill, electricity bill, or a document evidencing the landlord's ownership is to be submitted. Now, another important document is copies of sale bill and purchase bill. Dear friends, business is required to submit copy of sale bill related to each end product that it will supply to its customer client. Also, for each raw material that your business will be requiring, it will purchase. Uh, a purchase bill has also to be submitted. Dear students, another important document required for MSME registration is partnership deed and MOA and AOA. MOA is Memorandum of Association and AOA is Articles of Association. They are the most important documents required for the registration of a company form of business. Dear students, uh, here we need to understand the nature of the business. If our uh, business is a partnership firm, then it has to submit its partnership deed. If the partnership firm is registered one, then it has to submit registration certificate also. Now, in case of a company form of business, copies of memorandum of association and articles of association and certificate of incorporation has to be submitted. Yes, with it, copy of resolution passed in general meeting and a copy of board resolution authorizing a director to sign the MSME application is also to be submitted. Uh, Next important document to submit is copy of licenses and bills of machinery purchase. Here we need to understand that in few cases the applicant has to submit a copy of industrial license. Dear friends, some of the industries are there which require where there is mandatory industrial licensing, like drugs are there, then we have tobacco industry requires the licensing. So many more industries where industrial licensing is required. So uh, uh, industrial license has to be obtained by giving an application to the government of India. Further, all bills and receipts related to the purchase and installation of plant and machinery have to be kept safe and required to be submitted on demand. Well, another important thing to understand is registration fees. Dear friends, registration under MSME is completely free of cost. That is, there is no registration fees that is required to be paid. Uh, I hope that you have understood the concept well. Thank you. God bless you all.